Hi family, welcome back to the channel, Relocate with Kaia. I am Kaia. I provide online support via coaching and consulting with families, individuals, and employees looking to move abroad. I provide them with relocation, country-specific resources, and on our channel, Rich and I share our own personal experience of moving from Philadelphia, Pennsylvania to Johannesburg, South Africa with our beautiful daughter, Nina. And today we are going to be talking about the black wife effect. Now I know this was trending, I think a couple of weeks ago. And you know, Rich and I definitely had some thoughts on the trend. So I'll let Rich, do you want to start or do you want me to go first?
Well, I think you're already starting, but I could jump in.
Yes.
So like one of the things we were talking about is like we don't want to be or feel like we want to pounce on every single trend that comes along, even though this was in our wheelhouse.
I know,
we didn't want to be like, oh, there's another trend. Oh, there's another trend. We don't. That's no.
Right. I feel like that's not even what we do.
No.
Not trends. We do. Oh, y'all.
Oh, yeah. Well, there's that too. Mm-hmm. But that's not something we wanted to do. So in talking about this or other things that we've seen, or like, do we want to be those people?
Yes.
You know.
Yeah.
But I think, at least for my approach, it's going to be more of my wife effect, and she happens to be black. So we've been together for the majority of our lives.
Almost, you can say the number, Rich.
I'm not, it gets fuzzy at this age, so I
okay.
don't want to come with actual digits.
Well, I don't want to take away all the years.
But yeah, I would say like one of the biggest influences you've had on me, is, and we're really good balance this way. It's like I'm very, I'm gonna say an in the box thinker, kind of like, oh, this is what it's going. This is very regimented and very like, okay, this is how things go. Mm-hmm. And you have a perspective that I don't, and that I appreciate you having, and you allow me to see things from a different perspective and kind of energize the way I think about things. Mm-hmm. And that's going back to, things we did when we were younger, early in a relationship, mm-hmm. All the way up into the idea of, and even moving here. Yeah. That's not just something that naturally I would be like, oh, I'm going to, take the chance and go out, to do that. So mm-hmm. I think, part of it is like your energy, your vision kind of gives me, the ability to see it from that side, and then, the confidence to start taking the steps to figure out how to get there from my comfort zone. Yeah. To get where I ultimately really enjoy being, but I wasn't initially comfortable, taking that leap of faith. Like,
yeah, I think that's exactly, yes. Yes. So my thoughts when I first saw the trend, I don't even know. I think I came across it on YouTube, has to be YouTube, or Instagram. Yeah, and I still really wasn't sure what it was, but I was looking at some of the videos and I was like, oh, this is cute. Essentially, it was just, to me, it just came off as like a before and after. And I started thinking, I was like, well, yeah, I think just as a woman, you like the person that you're with to look good. So I don't know if I do definitely feel like black women do have a little bit extra swagger. And I remember when Rich and we went on our first date. I literally went and got him an outfit from the Gap that I wanted him to wear. I don't even know if he wore it, but so that counts. I just thought that counts. And now that I think about it, I remember what it was. It was a green shirt and a pair of plaid shorts, and maybe it was good that he didn't wear. He didn't wear them, but
were they trending back then?
Yes. Right, yes. Back then, when the trends matter. Mm-hmm. So I remember literally buying an outfit because Rich and I worked at a restaurant, and when he would come to work, he would just have on his restaurant uniform. So I wasn't sure what I was working with. Yeah. So
one does not put their finest on to work at any restaurant, particularly the ones where we were.
Yes, that's right. Our uniforms had stripes on them. And
buttons. I'll let you guys fill in the.
The restaurant.
Tchotchkes.
That's right. TGI Fridays. So I literally did, go out and get him an outfit, just in case. But, so when I saw this trend.
Showed up in the uniform?
I don't know. I wasn't sure what you were going to roll up in. So that is definitely something. I mean, it's a thing. But, so I definitely think just as women, I think you care about, what your partner, looks like. So when I saw that, oh, well, that's cute. And then I was like, well, dude, Rich, I don't even know. I definitely don't have any before pictures because we literally were so broke. And we were servers. Like, we didn't have a camera. Like,
we also, getting back to the timeline,
yes,
didn't have camera phones.
No,
didn't have cell phones.
No,
didn't have, we didn't walk around with a disposable camera in our pocket.
Exactly, and we definitely didn't have. And the cameras that we did have, we didn't have the photos developed. Like our was it our honeymoon?
No, it was one of our friends' weddings in
I don't even think we got our honeymoon pictures developed.
Did we?
No. No, we have no honeymoon pictures. But no, not at all. Not on one. Well, we had to take pictures.
Okay.
We have no pictures from our honeymoon. And that was in 2003. 2003. So there was no, I wish I had to look back. I wish I had pictures to even reference, it's like a before and after, but I don't. So initially I thought the trend was cute. But I definitely think it was, so I was like, oh, we don't got nothing to offer to this, to this trend. And then I watched this video, Rich and I watched this video, this other couple that were, talking about the trend, and they kind of broadened it out a bit, which to me, made it a little bit more genuine or just more in depth. Yeah. And essentially what they were saying is like, the same thing as like aesthetically, it's cute and it's I can see why people would get involved, but then they kind of like opened it up to like how has it changed being married to a black woman, how it changed
personal effects,
right,
on each individual, because before
right,
like, you're showing the before and after, like
right,
what they were wearing or doing,
right,
and that's just surface stuff, and
yes,
other people actually had a conversation like, about
right,
like, okay, well, how do I view this now versus
right,
before, and
yes,
that sort of thing. So
and I was like, oh, I can speak to that. Just talking about how, not to speak for Rich, but just like how you may have changed or been influenced by being married to a black wife.
I can't, having been born and raised in America, like obviously race and all that's front and center all the time. Like I can't sit here and say like, wow, my knowledge or perspective on things would be the same if I was with someone that didn't look like you,
right,
because you just have a different perspective from things than I have. Like your lived experience,
right,
as much as I can know or understand, from an academic perspective, not having lived through it.
Right.
Like I can't sit here and say, oh, if I was married to someone who wasn't black, like if I would have that same level of knowledge.
Right.
So there's definitely that effect. And to your point, it's like over all the years, like there is growth that naturally, hopefully, occurs with folks over the course of years. Yeah. And hopefully you're in a relationship that you kind of can grow together. Like if one person's doing something new or different or struggling or whatever, like you guys can kind of help, support, and uplift and kind of push each other, along through life.
Yes. No, that is so true. Because Rich was, I think, not to, like, I feel like your understanding of race, from, a white person's perspective, I think just over the period of almost 30 years, was much more involved than mine was, which is crazy, just in the sense that you had a better understanding, a better understanding of most white people in America. Like you, I do feel like you interact with people on an individual basis, and I think that's, like you were just, you understood it in a way that a lot of people don't. And I don't know if, well, it does. It's obviously, the neighborhood that you grew up in and your friends and stuff like that. But Yeah, no, I think that I've learned stuff from you. So it's not even just like, a one-sided thing. I learned something, from Rich, kind of getting understanding of, how he views the world, how he sees the world as, as an evolved white person who, tries to understand or, as much as he can. You were informed earlier than I was as far as like, the reality of, people's experiences that don't look like you. And, you've been able to, expose me to things and teach me things. So it's definitely not a one-sided effect. So we just wanted to, that's our contribution to this conversation. I wish I had some before and afters, but I don't. But do know, I definitely, that stuff matters. Not that Rich can't do it on his own, and not that a white woman can't get rich together either. But
are you speaking surface level here? Or are you talking about me choosing not to buy plaid shorts or something like that? Is that...
Right. Not that Rich can choose that on his own. Yeah. But yeah. So that's sorry.
I mean, just a quick aside.
Yes.
Obviously, we have a daughter now who's going to have to navigate the world of like, everything being documented, cameras around all the time. It's like I would joke, at least with my friends, and we've mentioned it, like, woo. Thankfully, no one had a camera back when such and such happened. You just get reminded of it by some of the folks that were there.
That's true.
And, harass you to
yes, there's no evidence of it, which is a blessing.
It is. I always look at it that way, but like not until you mention it now. It's like, oh, we didn't get. I'm like,
no
it would
pictures.
have been nice to have that memory. I know we had the disposable cameras around for a while. I don't know what happened to
every
them
time we moved, we brought them with us.
Tornado of a move that we had, like a couple times before we got here.
Yeah.
I forget where I was exactly going with this, but I say all that to say, like now, like everyone it's a blessing and a curse that there's so much
documentation
out there. Yeah, I think, for us, it would have been nice if we did save a little something. But no one in our peer group carried a camera around. No. I mean, it just wasn't something that was done. And,
no.
And not until you mentioned it am I realizing like, that's sort of missing.
No, I wish that we have something like one of our friends actually did.
You've got high school photos like prom, and then you've got like wedding, and but there's not like
that whole chunk of like remember that night?
Yeah.
It's all in your memories. But it is. I am glad that we have documents, particularly of like just Nina, your fellows, little reminders. Always I was like, oh my God. So I do wish that we had photos from back then. Not for, just before and afters, but just some memories.
Ones here and there.
Yes. So that's our contribution to the Black Wife Effect. Our little 2 cents. And I think that's it, unless you have anything else to add.
No, that's it.
All right, you guys. Well, of course, thank you for liking, subscribing, and commenting. As you know, I love to respond. So please feel free to leave a comment and your thoughts. And thank you for watching. Rich and I are always humbled that you guys are interested in anything we have to say. And we'll see you guys next week. Bye.